Hello everyone, Jeff Duncan, Josh Katzenstein here at MetLife Stadium, where the Saints have just defeated the New York Giants 33-18, the Saints' third win in a row. And this one was a little bit different than what we saw last week, where the Saints won a high-scoring shootout. This one was more defense, special teams, and the running game, and I think that's the sign of a good team that can find different ways to win.
Yeah, definitely. It felt like the offense was, they were playing bad in the first half. They finished with 12 points and they had a lead going into halftime, but they had 4 drives that went into the red zone. All 4 resulted in field goals, but finally in the second half, Alvin Kamara was basically unstoppable. Finished the game with 181 yards from scrimmage, a career high in rushing yards with 134, 3 touchdowns, including the one that put it away, and he ran right into the tunnel that's behind the camera over here. But yeah, certainly the defense, I thought this was their best game of the year by far. They came into this game with 1 turnover, and they got 2 today. They won the turnover battle 2-0. Demario Davis had an amazing game with 2 sacks, 10 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. And this is definitely, we're starting to see that the Saints are becoming the team that we sort of expected them to be.
Yeah, Drew Brees just talked about how this team's still trying to find its identity, but I think we're slowly, like you said, starting to see them find it. And I don't think by any means this is a dominant team, certainly not at this stage of the season. But I think it's a very good sign that different people are stepping up each week. They're making different stars each week. Demario Davis, for instance, today they got a lot of production out of their tight ends. This was not a big day for Mike Thomas, and he's dominated the first 3 games. But again, a team that's, I think, finding its way. It's fairly healthy, relatively healthy, and the fact that they can win in different ways. Today, you said defense, the running game, I think bodes well for the future, especially considering the NFC South right now. They're in first place.
Yeah, with the Bucs slowing down, Fitz magic. Someone figured out the trick, I guess,
right.
And they had to put Jameis in there. They got dominated by the Bears today, and then the Falcons lost last minute at home to the Bengals, and we'll see what happens with the Panthers. But certainly I think the Saints showed today that they're a better team. The one thing to keep in mind, though, the Giants are not that good. They were missing 2 of their best defensive players, Olivier Vernon and Eli Apple. And Eli Manning, I'm sorry to say this, everyone in New Orleans, but Eli Manning stinks right now. He's had 3 bad games out of 4 so far, and maybe the best play that he made today was when he tackled Marshawn Lattimore on the fumble return. So certainly you have to give the Saints defense a lot of credit, but you also have to consider the opponent, before we say that they're back.
Well, a quiet day by his standards for Drew Brees, only 217 passing yards, no touchdowns out of Drew Brees, but the key number is, as usual, no interceptions. This is now his 4th game. He hasn't turned it over, and he will go into next week needing 201 yards to break Peyton Manning's all-time career passing record. Get ready, because you're going to hear a lot about Drew Brees in the week to come. It's a long week for the Saints, leading up to that Monday Night Football game against the Washington Redskins, but Drew Brees will be the story, not only in New Orleans, but nationally, as he continues his quest for the all-time passing record. For Josh Katzenstein, Jeff Duncan, Julie Bowden, Michael DeMacher, and Luke Johnson, keep reading us at NOLA.com, and everybody have a great night.